And three. There you go. Good, good. Oh, good afternoon, Liz.
Good
How are
afternoon.
you doing?
I'm well. I'm well. Hanging in there. I'm cold.
Ah,
I'm cold, but I'm well
you're
today.
cold.
Yeah.
She's cold. I am kind of cold, but I have these socks on, so it's really, really keeping me warm.
Yes. Yes. It's
Family's
good.
good.
Everyone is good. Yeah. I cannot believe it's the middle of November and, it's Thanksgiving is next week. So, it's here. And then before we know it's going to be Christmas and then we can say goodbye to 2020. So
Yeah.
that's the plan, right?
No, 2020 is just don't put 2020 in the corner. 2020 just looking at us like, y'all just don't like me. What's going on here?
Yeah.
2020, you'll be good. You'll be good. I
Yeah.
think everything's good on this end. Kids are well. Mama's good. So if mama's happy, the house is happy.
Mhm. Yeah.
There's a saying that says, Mama's beautiful, daddy's rich. So mama's beautiful, daddy's rich, and we're rolling.
Yeah.
Um, so what's on the plate? What's on your plate? I know. I feel like we're jumping in directly instead of, easing in. But hey, if that's what we're supposed to do, we'll do it.
It's that's how my the last few weeks have been. It's just you got to
Really?
just jump right in,
Come on, talk to me. So what's on the plate? What's
So
going on in Liz's world?
this is holiday for me right now. So it's that urgency that if people, this year especially because people aren't in the office. So if my customers want to order product for their
Hmm.
for their employees, they're not having a holiday party, maybe they're not, everyone's remote. So how are you gonna the logistics on how that's gonna work? And everyone wants to come up with something, thoughtful
Novel.
and
Novel.
creative and something, but they don't they don't know what that is right now.
Yeah,
So but at the same time I'm like, okay, well, let's figure that out because Thanksgiving is next week and then
correct.
it's December, so it's time. But
And
yeah.
then supply chain issues.
Yes. So I
Mm,
had today, this morning, I had, I have someone that's, we're doing the fulfillment where they bought a lunch, like a retro lunchbox, those old fashioned lunch boxes. And then they've designed the label to go on the front and
mhm.
inside, and they're doing a custom postcard for each customer. And then, all these products that go inside and my company, we're doing the fulfillment for it and then we'll
Okay.
ship it out. And one of the products, the first product has already, now I just got the message that it's back ordered till January. So today I am scrambling to find an alternative product. And I don't even like to reach out to my client until I don't say, hey, that product is not possible.
Mhm.
So I don't do that until I say, but I have a solution. So
Mm.
I found the solution. I sent it to them. I said, here's the solution. They said, great. I said, it's even less expensive than the other one. And then my supplier came back and said that they can't do the artwork they want to do on there. So now I have to go back and start over again. So yeah, so it's a little stressful.
But you know something? So you just so I think I see how this show is. It's ask you questions, you give the what's happening, then the lesson pops up. And here's the lesson I gathered from this. One, when you're going in with bad news, go with some good news. Go with a solution to what
Yeah.
the current problem is. Don't go there saying, we can't do it. And they'll look at you like, what am I paying you for?
Yeah.
And that's how you go to the next level in any, corporate America, anything that you're doing. Research it, even if you don't have a solution. Give your thought processes of, okay, you know what, but I thought about these different things. What do you
Mhm.
think about? Even if that's not the solution, that tells the person that you're there for them. You're thinking about them.
Right. Or saying even if you don't know what the right solution is, you can say, here's three options of our next steps so that
Bring
they feel they have
options.
choices and you can come up with what the best solution for them is. But but yeah, for me right now, like things say that inventory is all good, and then by the time the order gets processed, they run out of inventory. So
Wow.
it's a little,
Wow.
yeah, a little crazy. So, but yes, but I will work through it, and I will come up with a solution for them, and we'll just, have to redo it. But yeah, so that's that happens, more than I would like to. Things like that happen,
Uh-huh.
and you just have to. I feel like you have to be flexible, and you have to stay calm. You can't freak out. You have to stay calm
Yes.
for your customer and let them know you have it. You'll take care of it.
Selling success is like being a duck. You're under there going, but then you just come on the top, and you're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Go
My
ahead. Go
my
ahead.
my grandfather used to say to me, he said it to me actually, and I thought of it on my wedding when I was getting married, because a hurricane came through 2 days before my wedding, and so a lot of people couldn't. We were getting cancellations and everything, and he said to me, he said, "You have to be like a duck and just let it roll off your back.
Let it
Let
roll,
it roll
girl.
off
Let
your
it
back."
roll.
You
Let
know.
it
So
roll. Because what the least here are the options here. You go under the rock, and when you get under the rock, you don't tell your clients are angry.
mhm.
So that's not going to happen because life goes on. The business continues. You man up, you woman up, and you tell them what they eat. You tell them the truth. And it's program management 101. Communicate, communicate, communicate. Because if you can communicate and circumvent their feeling of not distrust, but feeling that their goals or their vision cannot come to fruition, and you can still work with them to make something come in even better.
Yeah.
Sometimes our initial, I remember we're building a house, a custom drew it. So if you're looking for custom homes, I draw, but I do concepts, I'm not an architect. So I
Yeah.
remember I drew it up on the paper. My wife looked at it and was like, yeah, went to the builder and said, okay, here's the concept. Didn't go to the architect, went to the builder and said, could you do this? And he says, well, we can do this, but this wouldn't be a good thing to do. Why not? And it became a better plan, right?
Mhm.
Even though I said to myself, wow, I wanted that. When we did build it and we saw it, it was, he was right. So
Yeah.
our first version, though maybe, what we have in mind, the second and third will be even better. So I'm pretty sure I trust you.
Thank you. I need a little
Mhm.
reassurance right now.
Yes,
But
yeah,
like you said, I think it's so important to be honest with them, and to let them know that that this is my number one priority right now, like, is to get
correct.
this solved, so they know they have a sense of urgency, but that they know you have a sense of urgency too. So
Wow. There
yeah,
goes another word that you need to know, sense of urgency.
yeah.
When somebody says, or when you call, like when I call my kids in the house, Wulwyn, yes, daddy, can you go and get this for me now? Like, dude, I said now, daddy, or even in fact, I wouldn't say now, could you get this for me? And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, where is it? Oh, you didn't say now. I said, when someone gives you something to do,
Yeah.
have this sense of urgency that, oh my goodness, this person may need it now, and get it done. Have it, because it makes. I remember going when I went to EMC the first, second, third. In fact, my entire time there. You know how in corporate they gave you such a long period to do a piece of work, and
Mhm.
it's if you truly go and just do it, you can do it in an hour or two,
Yeah.
really. So I would say, why would people not get exceeding exceeding every time on a performance appraisal?
Mm.
Because why would you wait and wait for something that they gave you 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you can do in 30 minutes? So that sense of urgency, people, selling success is, yeah, it's the cold calling, it's all of that, but it's also one, communicating with your clients. Two, having a sense of urgency that, and you said the word, making them know that they are number one.
Yeah.
Now, when I feel I'm number one on your list, I'm going to keep coming to you because, hey, why does a dog come to master every time? Because, hey, there's that little treat that is coming. Oh, Liz is here. Your dogs, when they see you, like,
Mm. Yeah.
because you are giving them what they want. You're giving the client what they want. Your focus for what you're the service you're giving for them. Wow, Liz,
Mhm.
we're so sense of urgency. I'm taking notes here. Sense of urgency of communication. But here's another thing that we said. You gave me. You did you do your homework? Your 10
I
people.
worked on it. I did not get 10, but I did work on it, and I kind of incorporated it with some other things that I had to do for my clients. So but definitely called them with good news, and spoke with them on the phone, and it's just amazing, the results that you get.
Oh my
And
goodness.
one of my suppliers actually offered, we did this webinar on trends and what's coming up, and anyone who got on the call got a free Carhartt beanie, a beanie
Okay.
cap, like a winter cap, if they
Uh-huh.
were coming on the call. So then after the call, I could follow up with them and say, which color cap do you want? I'll be sending that out to you. And
Wow.
people came on the call, and I don't know if they came on because they cared about the call or if they wanted
Freebie.
the free beanie, but they were so appreciative of that, like a free gift, and how, and for me, I don't even have to pay. My supplier is supplying them. So, but
So that's what
but
you told.
other but
Go
I
ahead.
was going to say that other salespeople that work, that have the same opportunity, did not have anyone on the call. They did not
That's
even send the invitation to and ask people. I don't think, or no one accepted, but I had 6 or 7 people on the call that I
and
could then
all.
follow up and have follow-up calls. And I made a cute little Canva ugly sweater invitation on there and sent it out. And I was shocked that no one else had anyone on the call. So
Ah, ah, there goes another one. Here goes another nugget. Take advantage of the
yeah,
opportunities.
yeah, yeah. Because you think like, oh, everyone's gonna do this, but then after we had that initial call with the explaining what we were going to be able to do,
Hmm.
you get busy, and you kind of that's not an instant priority. You're like, oh, I have all these other things, but I had to put it on my to-do list and say I have to send this invitation out, or they're not going to know it. How are they going to know? So I sent it to
Correct.
my best clients, and they were very appreciative to be on that call. So
Wow.
but
Amazing.
yeah, so
Amazing.
you think that everyone's calling, everyone's following up, and they're not. So
Mm.
you have to make that your priority. So
So two things here. One is I did the 10 calls. I called and there were, Wulwyn, you're calling. Wow. And one of them still have they're um in the red still to pay. However, I think I perceived they thought I was calling to say, hey, balance, da da. And I didn't even touch that. Was,
yeah,
just grateful for you coming in and using Joseph Solomon Management Consulting Firm to strategically, build your business model and your business development. And they were like, oh my goodness, thank you. And now what happened was instead of the gifts, I was moved to pray for them. And guess what? After prayer, they're like, oh, thank you so much. I'm like, Liz, thank you. So it's simple things that we do. And more so, before I forget the second one, I started remember the client who I had to call and say, hey, what's going on? We started yesterday. He sent his check in the mail.
that's awesome. Congratulations. That is
Thank you.
awesome. That is
Thank
awesome.
you. So
Yeah.
so these things are practical things that we overlook sometimes in our businesses, calling for taking advantage of the opportunities that exist from your supplier that you went and you had these individuals who got the freebie and business will come from it, calling and giving thanks because we're in the season of Thanksgiving. So hey, call them and give them thanks, give them a gift card. And it works. One of them said, one of the clients said, Wulwyn, I thought about you yesterday and I wanted to call you to ask you a question about da da da. And I went, and here I am calling you now, right?
Mhm.
So it works. It
Yes,
works.
yes. I also want to say that I think something that's so important is that we all know that there's all these things we should be doing, right? Like, you need to be making more calls. You have to be doing follow up. You have to send thank you notes. You have to
Mhm.
work on your prospect list, and all of those things. Yes, thank you notes.
Thank
Yeah.
you. No, she just
Yeah.
said it, and I'm gonna jump in here. Dear Wulwyn, thank you so much for the support, the push, and enthusiasm. I'm so happy our paths have crossed. I look forward to the days we can hang out in person. All the best, Liz. And the card is in there. It, yeah, the card is in there, but it's not really the card. It's thanks that's in here. That caught my heart. So thank you for that. Thank you note. Go ahead, Liz.
Yeah. So, so I'm a big believer. I've started doing thank you notes, and you think that it's not a big deal, but it once again, it adds a layer, right? It adds a layer, and it makes me feel good to write them to people. And then I have had multiple people who say they still have my card on their desk, which makes me think, how many cards are they getting if my card is still there? And I didn't put anything special in there other than I did put my business card, but I didn't put a gift card. I didn't,
Good.
the gift is the card, itself.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Yeah.
but what the point I wanted to make was that I feel like we feel like we're so busy all day, that we don't have time to do these things, or we know we have to do them, but then suddenly you look and it's like the afternoon, and you didn't get all these items done you wanted. And I just wanted to give a plug to one of my business coaches, Marcy Rader. She does a
Mhm.
Focus 90 session
Okay.
once a week. Sometimes she does multiple ones in one day, but um, it's one of those things where I thought, like, I can block my time. I can do this, and what you're supposed to do is take that 90 minutes and pick the 3 or 4 things, or 2 things, depending on how big of a project it is. It might be one thing that's going to take that whole time, but you block off that time, whether it's to make your cold calls or whatever it is, and you write down your intention at the beginning, and then that's all you work on. You don't check your email, you don't check your social media, you don't answer the phone, you just focus on those things that you said you're going to get done. And it's usually things that you put off. I usually do things that I need to do, but I keep putting them off because it's not as easy as answering email or entering an order. It's other things I don't take the
Correct.
time to do. But I said, oh, I can just block this time, but when I block the time,
Mhm.
I find things, I'm like, oh yeah, I have that time, but I really need to do these other things. And I don't,
Yes.
so I don't know what it is, but you're on a Zoom call, even
Uh,
before COVID, and no one's paying attention to the Zoom call, but you're on there, you're muted, and everyone's just working for that 90 minutes. But something about
Mhm.
the being there makes
Yes.
me do that, makes me get
Wow.
this stuff done. So I think it's just a great way to do it. And like I said, it's kind of like coaching or having accountability partners. Like, what you need to do, but until you have to be held accountable by someone else, I feel like it's just, I don't know, that switch just gets turned on, and you're like, oh, okay, now I have to do this. Where before you're only answering to yourself, and maybe I'm just not as strict with myself, but
No, I think that's human nature because I if I tell you when I did my 10 calls, you would I did my 10 calls today at 9 a.m. to 10. I said I'm going to do because the accountability factor, I did not want to come here and go, I didn't do it. And it doesn't, it's not even putting it down because I did put it down and say I will call, but it's when I spoke it to you 2 weeks ago and I said I will do it.
mhm.
I I forgot about it, But when I thought about selling success today, I said, well, what are we going to be discussing? I said, oh my goodness. And this was last 2 days ago. I said, we have to talk. And what do I have to do? You have to do your 10 calls. Okay, I'm sweet. Let me see my time. I'm going to do it right here. And it works. So it's not you who's doing it. I think it's just our human nature that when we give our word, one, and two, when we block it and be intentional. I think that's what the word is, being intentional, because there are other people out there who would say, yes, I'll do it, but they don't do it, even if they block it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I blocked a whole day and did not get half of the stuff done I was supposed to do because you just, other things happen and life happens. And so it's difficult to follow through on all those things, but and it's not, and that they call it the low hanging fruit. Is so tempting to do all those things, like, oh, I can just answer emails and I feel like I'm working and being productive and I'm doing my social media ads, but is that really what's going to move your business forward?
Yes. So I thought about a question for you earlier today, and it was, as we are approaching the dusk of 2020, some people have written 2020 off. But 2020 hasn't written you off yet, because 2020 still has so it's 10, 12 days plus 30, 42 more days, right? Roughly 40 more days plus. What's your word of encouragement to individuals who are in business and maybe in a sales business? What's your word of encouragement to them? What would you say, actionable steps that you have done? So we're not talking about books. We're not talking what that you have done that have worked for you, that people can go ahead and implement.
First of all, I would say you need to celebrate your wins. Every day you need to celebrate your wins, no matter how small you think they are. You could have something that great happen in the morning, and by the afternoon you forget about it, and then you're like, oh, today was not a great day, and you already forget. So I think also having gratitude for what this year has been allowed us to do, to slow down and to kind of, you think of it as being, oh, my sales weren't what they should have been, or they're not as good as last year, whatever. But there's so many parts of this year that it's given us a chance to reflect more and have to pivot and have to become stronger. So I think it's gonna just, if you're in sales, I think we're all like ramped up, ready to go. Hopefully when they say you can get out now, go, and do what you need to do. But it's made me realize that even for things like networking, like I thought I had to be out networking all the time. And I realized that that's not where first of all, I think I've already said that's not where my sales come from. So, it's part of that busy work. Like I feel like I'm doing something, I'm out, I'm meeting people, which is great. But is that the number one priority that I need to be focusing on? So I think reassessing your business and how you're doing things is very important. And like I said, I think the biggest thing is to just reflect and be thankful for what you have and celebrate those wins, because you don't realize how you're growing if you're caught up. When you're in your business, it's hard to see your business, I think, right? So
wow, Liz, you took me for a curveball on this answer, because I thought, here I am thinking, and trust me, this was the answer that was supposed to come forth, right? Yeah, I was thinking it would have been, write down a list of things you have to do, then da 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 da. But it was not about actionable steps. It was soft steps. It was introspection. It was a human elements versus elements that would bring in money, right? Here it is. It's more about self-preservation, right? You're preserving yourself, celebrating your wins, and not not saying it's a wash. How could 2020 really be a wash when you're alive? How
Hmm.
could 20 and people have lost their lives? How can selling success be successful if you're dead? So
Hmm.
you are alive, so you still have hope. How can you, be grateful and reassessing where you are? Wow.
I mean, I think we all know, okay, we need to make our prospect list. We need to make cold calls, like all those things. But I think this year, just looking back and being grateful for all the good things that I mean, even with my children, I tell them, like my daughter will get freaked out by the news and the COVID cases are going up and she starts to panic. And I tell her, I say, you have no control. You can control what we do in our house. We're taking care of ourselves. But look, here's all the things you should be thankful for right now, and that we can't go to New York and visit our family. That's true. But let's be thankful for all that we do have, and that all the great things that have happened this year and that we've been able to do. And for me, I've done so much personal development, and I kind of am, I need to take a break from that. So I feel like, do not give me one more piece of advice for my brain right now. So
That's true.
I think a lot of people, but I think just I'm trying to write down at the end of the day all the things that happened, all the good things, and just
Mm,
and just for the rest of the, Thanksgiving and the holidays, be thankful for what you do have, and the good that has come out of this year, because I think there is so much good that has come out of this year, and the relationships that you realize you don't have to be face to face. We all want to be, but the relationships I have that have become stronger during COVID, the people that you can rely on and that,
mhm.
step up during a time of crisis, and
Yeah.
you find out who your true friends are, I think, and the people that are your true believers for
Mhm.
you.
Like, you and I on this call now, right? Where we met during the Shining Light event that Florida and Ed had put out. And
No, we didn't. We met through the Microsoft. We didn't meet in person at
no,
first.
we
We met
didn't. We
we
didn't.
met at the foster kids
Yeah.
panel. Yes,
Mhm.
yes,
That was
yeah.
the I think Shining Light.
Oh, was it Shining Light?
Oh yeah, I think it was Shining Light and We're
Microsoft?
Connected. And
Yeah,
yeah, they
yeah,
did, it was that collaboration. There was
yes,
something with them. You're
yes,
right.
yes, with Ed,
But to
yes,
know that we were what 15, 20 faces on that panel, and there were other individuals who were we were five, six panel speakers, and the others were individuals who were in the program. To know that we came from that point, we talked, and we're doing this, how amazing that is. And we wouldn't have had that.
right.
I don't think we would have had. I'm not sure, but I'm grateful for that. So,
Mhm. And
2020.
I just have to say that what I'm most grateful is to hear, like, it means so much to me to hear that I'm in your head, that you hear me when you need to be making your phone calls or saying like that. That is the best compliment that you could give me, is that, just to feel that I have an impact on what you do. And, it's a
Wow,
great feeling.
wow, wow, wow. Um, that is true. And to know, we say that this is turning out to be a Thanksgiving um episode, right?
Mhm.
And rightfully so. I think it's the impact we make on people. So let's just say I didn't tell you. Let's just say I never told you that I thought about you when to do these different things. Just say I didn't, but it was happening. Do you know that there are more people you're making impact upon who aren't saying anything to you?
Mhm.
There are people who will watch, who have watched this, a second or two, and heard something that they needed to hear, not the entire thing. There are people who you engage with, who don't have the time to come back and say, hey, Liz, I thought about you when I was doing this, but it doesn't negate that you're impactful. So if we're out there making impact, we are talking to individuals, we are pouring in, because I think that's who we are, value driven individuals. We're pouring in and pouring in and pouring in, and nobody comes back. I think one of the things to write down to celebrate a win is, I was impactful. Know that you were impactful. And I'll turn this back on you. I talk to Ed, and Ed says, man, Liz talks about you. I'm like, Liz talks about me? Like, I said, yeah. But it's just how you said just now, it's the impact. I'm grateful for that when I hear that. So it's good to hear, but if we don't hear, let's just make sure we still know that we are impactful.
Exactly. And I think it's that part of that is being your authentic self, right? And being who you really are. And I
Mm,
think when you are who you really are, and maybe some people don't know how to make that impact, or how to find the people to make an impact on, and
mhm.
even just starting with like a nonprofit that you can volunteer at. You can make a huge impact on people if you just give a little bit of time, and you can make a big impact on their lives. So
Wow.
I think it's not always like you're not in a position to be giving advice, or where people are going to have you in their head, but where can you make a difference, where can you have an impact on people? I think finding, because it's different for everybody, right? So that's
Wow.
part of Thanksgiving too, I
I,
think.
I'm telling you it. And the um, you're showing a different dynamic. You're showing a completely, and the reason why I'm doing this, I'm laughing. I'm seeing a completely different aspect of who you are today.
Mm.
And I'm not surprised, because from the things I see you engage with, the people you engage with, this is these are the characteristics of the individuals that I see you engage with. And there's no way that you can engage with them the way you do without having those similar characteristics. But I, you're not bionic. No,
Yes,
you're not.
yes.
You have, what, I'm gonna when somebody looks at you, Liz, and they just see you without talking, they look at you like, okay, she's in her corner. She doesn't, you have a poker disposition. You don't show the gem that you are until someone engages with you for a time being. Am I am
Thank you.
I
Yeah, I guess. Sure. Yeah. I mean,
oh, wow, wow.
so I have a story to tell that I think you
Tell
will
the
like.
story. Tell the
Okay,
story.
so Deborah Matthias
Uh-huh.
connected me with a woman in Maryland who sells promotional products, who does what I do.
Uh-huh.
And she said, "Hey, I just want to connect you. I was talking to this woman and Nancy, and I wanted to connect you." So she connected us, and I reached out right away and connected on LinkedIn and said, let me know if you want to have a conversation, because I actually love to talk to people in my industry, and I
Gotcha.
just find it interesting. And she's someone who works a full-time job doing like administrative assistance, but she loves promotional products, and she does it on the side. She does it
Okay.
at lunchtime. She does it in the evening. She does it on the weekends, trying to grow this business. And she's doing it all by herself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so we talked for quite a while, and I just kind of was telling her the things that have worked for me over the last couple of years. And she was telling me about what she's doing, and she's just, because she's only doing it part-time, she's kind of more in the beginning stages. And
Mm-hmm.
so after, she was just like, oh my God, she's like you have no idea how like, she's like, I reached out to people in where I live who do this, and no one will even talk to me. No one will, no one. And I said to her, I said, if I can help you by something I've already been through. I don't
Wow.
see you as a threat. I don't see you as competition. But if I've already gone through this, why should you have to struggle and go through the same learning curve that I went through? So if I can help you, I mean, I look at it like it makes me feel good to be able to share that information and save her steps 4 through 8, and just
Yeah.
let her get through that and be a mentor to her. And we've had multiple calls now, and every time I talk, she's like, I feel like she doesn't get the support she has from her significant other. And she's like, I feel energized. She said, just knowing that someone is in my corner and they're
Mm,
supporting me, and
wow.
just a few phone calls is all it takes,
Yes, yes.
so
Impact, impact,
yeah.
impact. And this is a good place to talk about your sales savvy.
Sales savvy, yeah.
So what you just explained to me, because I know backstory, right? Because you and I have talked, helping women, helping people truly leap. What should I say? You help people leap landmines, minefields, so that they can get to safe spots and become impactful. Wow. We should look at a recording of this.
Yeah.
Help people leap minefields, and that's your heart, helping individuals. And I think it's you going out into the world, into the marketplace, because it's full of these individuals. It's so full with, and you explain it, spouses not on board, spouses giving the onshore eye. You should keep your day job. Don't do this. Friends, family, competition, who are, and that's where you come in with sales savvy. And so talk a bit on sales savvy. I'm putting you
Yeah,
on
so I finally had to sit down because I'm speaking in January
the spot.
on Sales Savvy for Believe, Inspire, Grow, a women's empowerment group, and I had to come up with a name and figure out what I'm going to do. So, yeah, so my consulting business, I'll call it, is called Sales Savvy, and my website does not exist yet, but is going to be called Get Sales Savvy. And I'm still figuring it out, but I just am looking to put it out there so that especially women, but anyone who is struggling, not with their productivity, not with their business in general, but really that sees the need to take their sales up a level, like how their sales techniques and their sales skills and what they're doing, and having someone there just to say, let me look and see how are you doing this? What are you doing? Let's talk about it and figure out, I always say, is there a better way? Where are you finding your prospects? I mean, are you just randomly, picking people that you have business cards, or do you have prospect lists that are a targeted list? Where are these coming from? Let's talk about them and come up with some ideas. Let's think outside the box and figure this out.
So there it is. And I'm listening. Here's what, it's not there yet, but I'm putting it out there. I'm going to do it. So just do it.
Mhm.
It's what selling success is. It's not paralysis analysis, of analysis, just staying there. It has to be perfect. You said the website will be Get Savvy, Get Sales Savvy. It will be. But now what's happening in this conversation is you're putting it out there and we're hearing it. Now you'll have to be accountable. You will have to come and, okay, I have to, once you're sitting down and you think, oops, I put it out there, I need to implement this, I need to go out and do it. So congrats.
Thank
On
you.
my end, what I'm thinking about doing is writing a couple of ebooks. Came to me. One is how knowledge workers, individual contributors, low level, mid level managers can go and get in the C-suite. So it's all of these things that I went through. I'm like, you know what? I could definitely help a couple people navigate these different trenches in there. Then it's how to become more intentional in your business. It's putting those systems and processes in place, but it's more so of understanding what's your model, what's your value proposition? And in order before you can go out and be that superhero, that impactful person in the world. So hey, sales savvy, get sales savvy. I love that.
So yeah, so now you've put it out there. So now we have to, now we have to see next time where that, where
Oh no, don't make me, don't make
step
me.
one, you just need to take a baby, you just need to move forward. So so yeah. I mean, I just said, I'm thinking of doing this thing. And someone said, oh, well, can you speak? And I said, on it, I said, okay, I can speak on sales. And they're like, okay, January. And I'm like, oh, that's so far away. I got plenty of time. And then like 2 weeks ago, they said, oh, we need your information so we can start marketing it now. And I'm like, oh no, like, so I had to, and I had to come up with they're like, well, what's the talk going to be about? So I had to, come up with that too. But it putting it out there and then getting that first step, it pushes you to take action on it. And
you will be successful.
and you have to just say yes.
Yes,
That's
correct.
that's
Say yes. Take advantage of the opportunity, right? What's your billism for today, sis? I know I'm putting you on the spot again.
I would say it's about once again, just, being part of a family business is, if you work with anyone in your family, if they help you at all, that's, you should be thankful for that, to have your family supporting you. But it comes with its challenges too. There are challenges, and it's a different dynamic. But I would just say that I miss that, having that support that is a different level when it's family compared to employees or a boss or whatever. And so if you are in a family business, I would just say it's hard, but you should be thankful for that at the same time.
Wow, excellent. And to all of you watching, have a great Thanksgiving and see you on the other side.
And the flip side, yeah.
On the flip side. Take care, and
Thank
you have
you.
an excellent day.
You too.